You were born here in Ballygorman,
That's correct, born in Ballygorman.
which is very close to Aughagower.
It is about a mile from
Aughagower. So I assume you went to school in Aughagower, yeah?
I did get from Aughagower School. Aughagower School been closed in the 60s.
In the 60s. Were you actually in that school, you were?
I was, yes. I got my primary education in Aughagower.
Yeah.
My teacher was Mrs. Gerrity.
And where was she from?
She was from just outside Westport there.
Knockrenny, was there? Tunrenny, is it?
Tunrenny.
Tunrenny, yeah.
Yeah.
And were there one teacher in that school at the time or two?
Oh, one teacher.
One teacher.
There, yeah.
Oh.
With about, it might be up to 30 pupils.
And do you know who was in it before her? Did you ever know?
There was a Mrs. Kevill, I think. Now,
Yeah.
she was before my time. I don't remember her at all now.
And how many pupils were in it in your time?
There was about 20-ish out, I'd say.
And she taught them all?
Yes.
And how did she teach? How many classes were in it?
She'd have from infants right up into 6th class.
And how did she teach them all? Because they'd be all different levels, would they?
They would, yeah. She'd have some people some kids doing a bit of work, and she'd go in and take another class and work with them.
Okay. And it worked all right, yeah?
It worked, yeah.
And did you do your, what was the name of the exam that time? The primary cert?
Oh, the primary, yes.
You done the primary
that
cert,
was
yeah?
in Aughagower, yeah.
That was a great step forward in them days.
It was, yeah.
What years were you going to school about?
Pardon?
What years did you go to school about?
I went to school in the late 50s.
The late 50s, yeah. And was it a nice school?
It was an old school. It was cold. There was one open fire. There was no heating, and we used the local parents just bring in turf and stack it there for the fire for the winter, and that was our heating.
There were no radiators around the building.
No,
just the fireplace, yeah. And who lit the fire?
None of that. The teacher primarily lit the fire. Yeah. I don't recall the pupils now lighting the fire.
And she'd be topping it up all day, she would?
Topped up then during the day. In the summertime, there would be no fire.
Be no fire. It would be warm enough in summer, yeah.
Yeah.
And what was the Aughagower village like that time?
Oh, it was a good, vibrant village. There was 3 pubs in it.
Yeah.
Shop, school, church, post office, and good population of people around.
And were they mostly farmers or were they working in town or in Westport?
Probably half and half. A lot of them were working in town. Westport was fairly active at the time. You had 2 or 3 factories in there, and a lot of the farmers, and part-time farmers, and farmers working for the county council and that kind of stuff.
Okay. And what were the roads like in your time? Were they all tarred up and...
Well, I can recall the only road I can recall being tarred originally was the main road from Aughagower to Enon, the Corber Road, as we call it.
Out the back road, the back way out there.
Yes.
Okay, right.
Yeah, yes.
So the road into Westport was tarred?
Yes, it was, yes.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah. The other roads were tarred when I was a kid.
And you had the church in the town as well, yeah?
Oh yes, church there, yeah.
And who were
and two priests.
2 priests?
P and a curate.
Oh my God.
In 2 separate houses, and a housekeeper with each of them.
And can you remember their names? Can you remember many names, priest names back along here now?
Father Prendergast, Father McHugh, they were the originals there. We had Father Wench, Father Garvey, Father Keneally, just Jackie is there at the moment now. Michael McGrail's brother Michael comes out now, he's keeping us on the straight and narrow, he's recuperating. There was 4 or 5 more parish priests now, that's their names I can't just recall.
And when you became a teenager and later on, was there any social life here? Or was it all Westport?
You had there was a hall in Aughagower, and there was dances there every weekend, every Friday night. There used to be dancing in Aughagower Hall.
And who'd be the band in the?
The Merry Boys now, the Duffies from Crossmolina were active in it.
Yeah.
Joe Halloran and company, and the O'Malley's of Liscarney.
Eamon O'Malley, is it?
Eamon O'Malley, and Pat, they used to play there.
And it's Joe Halloran and...
Yeah.
Would he have guys playing with him? Or would he be on his own?
Oh, there might be, usually in groups of about 4 or 5.
4 or 5. And what kind of music were they playing that time?
Primarily country and
western,
Irish,
and Irish.
Yeah.
So was Pat Freeland ever out there? Was
Yeah, Pat used to come out occasionally. Then there'd be concerts held out there too, and Pat would be involved with the concerts. And that's more, and you run a few concerts there every year.
What do you call it then?
Dan the street singer.
Dan the street singer,
yeah.
He lasted a long time. He was going around for a long time.
He was,
Badly,
yeah.
wasn't he? Yeah. And you had a handball alley here.
Yes, that's right. That's right. The old handball alley was there for over 100 years. It was modified in there recently, or a few years ago. I think there's plenty of foot now for to do a further development on it. But yeah, the handball club is pretty active there now, all right?
And have you any idea who was involved in the building of that in the beginning? You never heard, did you?
I don't
know about that, yeah. But it's very popular handball out here, isn't it?
Oh yes, it was very popular years ago, yeah. There was a handball actually in nearly every village years ago. There was a handball in the village of Aughagower.
Was there?
Yes, back at the turn of the century.
Okay. So you had 3 pubs?
Yes.
Who owned the pubs?
You had Scots, Muldoons and Cunyons, but then that changed into Kane, John Kane. And it was Greavy's originally, then a guy called Patsy Cunyon, or Cannon ran it, and then John Kane, and Scots is in their pub for the past 3 or 4 generations. Muldoons then closed down about 10, 12 years ago.
And would they be all busy?
They were?
They were, yeah.
They were, yeah.
Was it mostly drinking, or were they any music in at that time? No?
Music, very rarely.
Very rarely.
Card games in winter time.
Card games.
And darts. Darts was popular. They're back in the 70s and 80s.
Did the pubs that time have a shop in them?
They had. Scots had a well-stocked shop, but the other pubs then might have, butter and bread and stuff, but not a lot, but just enough to keep people going. And then there was feeding stuff for cattle, which was a big requirement in winter time.
So you started out farming, you did, when you were young, with your father? Or?
I did, yeah, just started out farming, yeah.
Down here. And what did you work at yourself?
Oh, I worked...
Initially?
Initially, I worked for Mayor County Council initially. Then I worked on Westport Textiles. Then I spent 10 years in Irish sewing, in the Dublin Mills and the thread factory, and I was over 30 years in that.
And who owned the textiles in your time?
Seafield Genetics, way back at that stage.
And who was the manager, can you remember?
Jeff Shackleton was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who owned the which other ones were in there?
The Irish sewing.
Irish sewing. Who owned that?
The Hughes family of Westport had an interest in it, plus Richard Arkwright, an English textile magnate.
And was it an English company or an Irish company?
When they alternated between Ireland and England, when they closed down, they were an English company, but they were other in Westport for 50 years or so.
Yeah.
One of the oldest industries in Westport.
So you spent 30 years in Elgin?
Yes.
You were nearly in from the beginning, were you?
I was about some slightly, I think 120 people in Elgin when I joined.
How many was in it when you left it?
There was over 900, I think.
Did you enjoy it there?
I did, yeah. I did with a good time there, no doubt about it.
Great opportunities?
Yes, it was indeed, yeah.
Okay. And did farming change much in your time now? They're small farms around here mostly, are they?
Oh yes, it's primarily small. All part-time farmers. I mean, I can only count 2 or 3 full-time farmers here. So a farmer here has to have an alternative income. Either his wife has to have a civil service or a job, or he has to have a part-time job himself or really what the farmers are doing around here is just keeping the land green, and that's about it.
Would they have sheep and cattle on it?
Sheep and cattle to keep it green, but as regards getting rewards off it, it's minimal.
This is a very rural area out here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is there much wildlife out here?
There are, yeah. I spent years after wildlife out here. I was involved a lot with the shooting down the years.
And what would you be after? What would you see?
Oh yeah, we'd be shooting pheasants, snipe, woodcock, mallard, the 2 or 3 types of duck, and there were plentiful. Now, shooting now is a practice that has died down a lot in the recent years. There's very little shooting going on, but I still see pheasants walking around the place there. You see the odd mink and pine marten and storks and that kind of thing. Plenty of foxes too, of course, always.
Badgers?
And badgers, yes, indeed.
Rabbits?
Not recently. The myxomatosis killed them off, and they did come back, but they died off again. So the rabbit population is very small here. We have plenty of hares, the mountain hares around here. Yeah.
And were there many crops being sold at that time when you were sowing?
Yeah, way back in the early days, everybody sowed their portion of oats and potatoes, turnips.
And did the fields look really nice with all the different crops in them now?
Oh, they did, yeah, they did. And of course, then they were a haven then for wildlife, because that's something to eat. Now it's all green grasses and trees.
And what do you think of the reduction in wildlife? Do you kind of feel sorry for them, or?
Well, you would surely, and it's definitely not from overshooting, but they're just not there now, because it's harder for them. A pheasant is a big bird, it's nearly as big as your domestic chicken.
Yeah.
So he needs a lot to sustain him, and it's not there. And when that's not there, the birds die out or move on some other way.
They move on, don't they? Yeah. Have you seen much change in your lifetime, across society in general? Have things changed much?
Oh, they would, of course. The biggest change probably was the electricity coming there, and we were one of the last places to get it here from the 70s before we got it.
You remember coming in, yeah?
I do.
And how did it happen?
Remember we used to have the old telly lamp that you'd pump up, and you'd punch it at night then. So, well, there was the canvas was done originally for it way back, and there was there was a lot of apprehension. People were worried that it would be too costly, and their main worry was what they called the standing charge.
No, yeah.
That was the monthly charge. They could control the amount of power they used, but they couldn't control that. So that was their biggest problem. But eventually there was enough of agreement to get it done, and it was surveyed, and the poles were put on there, and we were wired up.
And did they have to get a local committee now to organise people, or did the ESB do it themselves?
There was a local committee. I remember faintly now. There was a local committee and a few county councillors and stuff, and the parish priest would have an involvement too.
Was there was a bit of resistance to it?
There was, yeah.
Yeah.
Because at the time people hadn't the money. They weren't long out of the economic war and the 30s there, and they were just getting their feet under them at the time.
So you're still enjoying the pipe?
I am indeed, yeah.